Thank God, Broncos country, that we don't got to talk about this anymore. That's right. Courtland Sutton agrees to a contract adjustment, restructure a little bit, possibly getting himself $1.5 million more than what he was slated to get. You guys let me know what you think in the comments going live right now. Of course, smash that like and comment on the replay as well, and subscribe if you guys want daily Broncos news. But let's go ahead and get into it. I think that this is positive news for the Broncos. Sean Payton was speaking about this with authority earlier this week, and I thought, man, sounds like Courtland Sutton is not getting any more money. He's playing for what he signed for, but sounds like this was probably in the works for a little while, and now it is official. So want to shout out Mile High Report. Going to be reading their post on this. So let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Tom Pelissero of NFL Network is reporting the Denver Broncos and Courtland Sutton have worked out a deal to restructure his contract. The restructured deal will include a base salary of $13 million with a potential of $1.5 million in incentives. I believe that is tied to his receiving yards. This comes just 2 days after head coach Sean Payton assured the media and fans that Sutton would be at training camp, saying he'll be here like we talked about and ready to go. These negotiations have been in the works for a while, and it seemed like things were progressing in a positive manner. Obviously, it's obviously something that has been conversed about, and my team and I have been in contact with the guys upstairs to handle all that stuff. Sutton and June. We were kind of going back and forth trying to figure out the best way to kind of find a middle ground for the situation, and we are at a stalemate in a sense, but I have confidence and faith that the right thing will be done. And to sum it up, the middle ground was found this week with a restructured deal. If he has a big season, Sutton will be able to earn north of $15 million this season, which would have been a decent haul. He has not had a 1,000-yard season since 2019, but saw his best catch percentage in touchdown season yet last year when he hauled in 59 catches for 772 yards and 10 touchdowns. Targets definitely need to increase in 2024 for him to return to that 2019 form, and maybe with a new quarterback, that is something that could happen. Do you like the restructured deal for Courtland Sutton? I hit yes on this poll, and I'll break it down why. One, I feel like this continues to give the Broncos flexibility in the future. So this does not affect his contract or him being on the books in the future. Again, the Broncos can cut him with no guarantees next year, so he can be completely off the books. I don't believe that this affects the Broncos cap in any negative way from 2025 forward, which I think is just fine. I have no issue with that. If Sutton ends up balling out this year and we want to keep him, we'll have to pay up a little bit, but that's the risk that you take with a 29-year-old wide receiver. We'll see if he can put together a career year. We'll just have to see, but I like that, and I feel like this is a middle ground that Courtland Sutton was looking for. Again, that base salary was already around $13 million or so. His cap hit for this year, we can go ahead and take a look at it. It is north of $17 million. As you can see, let me edit this a little bit. As you can see right there, $17.4 million. So the fact that we're providing him with this incentive to earn $1.5 million to go a little bit north of $15 million total on the year, it doesn't affect our cap in any way this year. It provides him the opportunity to make money that I feel like, again, as our number one wide receiver, whether you guys feel like that's ideal or not, he has been that guy. He has not been a diva like we've seen somebody who was shipped out last year or this offseason, in my opinion. I feel like his addition by subtraction in Jerry Jeudy, that guy was a total head case, total distraction, totally non-serious about football. And I think Courtland Sutton is the exact opposite. I think that he is very, very serious about his job, his duty, his role. Again, a team captain. I like that we're able to retain him, and I think he's going to be a fine leader for the team this year. What this means in the future, I don't really know, but at the end of the day, I feel like this is a very fair middle ground for the Broncos and Courtland Sutton. I'm glad he's able to find an agreement in which he's not going to be complaining. I said this early on, guys. I just don't want this to be a distraction going into the season. So, second day of training camp, right? Second day of practices, and this is already taken care of. We have no underlying distractions going into the season. That is such a big win, y'all. Understand, we've had so much chaos going on over the last handful of seasons with the ownership, with Nathaniel Hackett, with Russell Wilson wearing his own jersey to practice, driving in a Batmobile, having his own office and multiple parking spots and all that stuff. Everybody is just about football right now. Isn't that great? I'll get to some of your comments and thoughts. Be sure to share some more. Big E Bronco, what's going on? How do you feel about this? I'm excited about it. The biggest win for the Broncos is no distractions going into this season. Oh my God, you cannot understate that. No distractions. Bill Bell L. Thanks for coming in. Sutton earned more money from last season. He was the only wide receiver getting passes from Russ, and he made Russ look like a half-decent quarterback with all of his highlight reel catches. No doubt, I believe on the NFL Network, he had some of the top 10 catches throughout the NFL season last year, and he was definitely somebody who elevated Russell Wilson's quarterback play. As crazy as that is to say, I mean, yeah, it's totally true. He elevated Russell Wilson, and you could argue that we don't win like 3 of those games last year without Courtland Sutton making those spectacular circus catches in traffic, dragging that second foot in. Inches. It is truly a game of inches, and he put us on the right side of that in multiple games last year. We could have lost 4 more games with him not on the field. He was the only wide receiver making touchdowns. Yes, 10 touchdowns. And ideally, I would love for, Courtland Sutton and the Broncos to work something out more long-term at a cheaper price, though. I would like to see him be our Adam Thielen. I think that he can be somebody that is a productive security blanket for the Broncos and our young quarterback, Bo Nix, for years to come. But you want to see it done at a price that makes sense. And we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Yes, Josh Reynolds, Bill Bell, he's saying Reynolds is a big upgrade over Jeudy. At least he tries hard always. Yes, the standard is not that high. Can you just not be arguing with randos and Denver media people on Twitter? And can you care about dragging that second foot in the end zone? You could argue that we lost that game against the Patriots when he failed to do that. And you're right, Bill Bell. Now we move our focus from a front office perspective to that Pat Surtain cornerback extension, where I imagine we're going to make him the highest paid cornerback in football. And I think I would rather, in my opinion, sign him to that extension right now, because the earlier you get this done, the better that contract's going to look in the future. I'd rather him be the highest paid corner this year before, of course, somebody inevitably resets the market next year. Let's just get this thing done. Oh no, Russell Wilson is day-to-day with a calf injury. Woke up with that news. Interesting. We'll see if Justin Fields can surprise people and take that starting role. I would love to see that. But overall, Broncos country, very, very happy about this piece of news. We no longer have to talk about it from this day forward. No distractions, nada, nothing. You'll love to hear that. I also wanted to say, guys, I forgot to mention this yesterday in my summary of day one of training camp. I forget who tweeted it out. It might have been Cody Rourke. Damari Mathis getting first team reps with Jaquan McMillan and Pat Surtain. Very interesting. I'm going to keep an eye on that cornerback too, or that outside corner competition going on between Damari Mathis, Levi Wallace, and Riley Moss. I would love to see Riley Moss take that step to be that starter that we've all hoped he would become, being a third-round draft pick, being somebody that we traded. Didn't we trade up for him? I'm trying to remember. Could be wrong. It was either him or Drew Sanders. Nonetheless, somebody that I have high expectations for. I have very low expectations for Damari Mathis. So if he's able to exceed that and work his way into bouncing back and being a productive plus player in the secondary, that bodes well for this defense. That bodes well for the Broncos. Hopefully get into that winning record that we've been chasing since Gary Kubiak was here in 2016. Right? So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Y'all be sure to let me know as you watch this, your thoughts in the comments. I haven't seen the incentives, the specific incentives on here. Trying to find, seeing where that's at. But maybe I'll have an update for you with my next video. Overall, this is a win. So George Payton, Sean Payton, Courtland Sutton, hey, thank you guys for working this out so we don't got to deal with any BS with the start of training camp. So y'all take care. I'll be back later. Go Broncos.